Argylle, the action flick with Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell by Matthew Vaughn is here. Let's find out how it is. All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and hearing my tirades about movies and television and comics and all that stuff. So let's get right into it. I am your host, Frank Zenka. I am an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and a comic book writer. And before we start anything, make sure to like and subscribe. I am trying to build the channel out, so any help you can give me would be awesome. But also Lords of LA, my vampire mob set in 1950s comic book, issues 1 and 2. We're doing late pledge on that. It just launched. The link will be in the description below if you want to check that out. Again, it's on Indiegogo. So this will be the last chance to get some of this stuff because, of course, there'll be covers that'll be retiring and all that stuff. So definitely check that out if you are a fan of any of those things, whether it be comics, vampires, or mobs, or Hollywood 1950s, Marilyn Monroe. All that stuff's in there. So check it out below. But let's get right into Argylle. So I was looking forward to this film a great deal. I mean, we're talking about Henry Cavill. We're talking about Bryce Dallas Howard. We're talking about Marv, the same company that did The Kingsman and Kick-Ass and all this stuff. We have Samuel L. Jackson. We have all of these. Bryan Cranston. I mean, I can just keep going on. The cast was amazing. So, and then we have an action piece, and we have Sam Rockwell, who doesn't normally do action, doing action, being a spy, even though he's like my type, my height, like 5. If he's 5'8", I'm surprised. So, yeah, and the setup was kind of neat that we had, per the trailer, we had a female character that was writing a James Bond type character played by Henry Cavill. And she had this special ability where she was kind of predicting the future, which was sending good guys and bad guys out to her to, catch her and information. We weren't sure about the trailer. So I thought the setup was really good. I like the look of the film from what I saw in the trailer. So I went with this very excited. I thought it was going to have lots of fun. And the setup in the first act, I'm going to divide this up by acts. Okay, so the costume design is very good. The acting, for the most part, is very good. I mean, Dallas Bryce Howard playing the cat lady type of thing where she's thrust into this world, gave me very Romancing the Stone vibes. And, she was screaming at every turn. She didn't know how to handle it. A gun fell in her lap. She's like, oh, my God. People are dying all over the place right in front of her. And I thought she acted that all great. She did gain some weight since, any of the Jurassic Park films or whatever else, which was fine for that cat lady kind of role. So we had the first setup, which was the Argylle, the Agent Argylle stuff with Dua Lipa, playing the female bad guy. We had John Cena playing the partner. This was all in the book world, right? This is all the stuff that she is writing, which is all good. That was kind of fun, over the top. We kind of expected to be over the top. Henry Cavill giving the Smolder look. All this stuff, he being the agent, and so all that's fine. The beginning portion of it, we have Ariana DeBose, who's also in it during that whole beginning portion. The special effects for the action scenes were not good. The special effects were it looked fake. A lot of it looked fake. So, but you can kind of discount it because it's supposed to be this fantasy world and that kind of thing. So that's basically, I'm going to call that the first act, that whole beginning scene with all the agent stuff going on. And then we get into the second act, which is Sam Rockwell's character showing up, being the true agent, protecting her from the bad guys that want to capture her and get information about the stuff that she is seeing, right? Right? She's telling the future as we're told, right? So we don't really understand it, but we're backtracking into all that where they're trying to find a MacGuffin that they were supposed to meet with a guy, and we were supposed to then, or Sam Rockwell's character says he was supposed to meet with him, but the guy never showed up, and she supposedly might have this information, so they go to London. Okay, so that's the setup. All right, so of course Matthew Vaughn has done plenty of films. Some I've liked and some I haven't. Like the second Kingsman film, I think we all agree was not very good. The first Kingsman film was pretty decent, although it does go off the rails a little bit. Everybody liked Kick-Ass, so there's a lot of stuff that he's done. The King's Man, like the third one, that was pretty decent, especially in the beginning. So we have a lot of good stuff that he's done in the past. Then it was written by Jason Fuchs, who is more of an actor and he's a story guy. He's not really a writer. He more comes up with the story. And like he did the story for Wonder Woman. Okay, so he's more of a story guy and has less credits as actual writing of scripts. All right, so we have a guy that's mostly competent, and then we have a writer that's really untested as far as scripts are concerned, writing this thing straight out now. All right, so then we get into the second act, which I think the second act for the most part works, where we're trying to figure out what Sam Rockwell's real place is in here, what his relationship with her is, if any, where the story's going to go. Is she really psychic? We're trying to figure all this stuff out. And then there's a little twist in there that sends the second act twirling into the third act. Once we hit the third act and Samuel L. Jackson's character is revealed, that's where things kind of go off the rails. And I forgot Sophia's last name, but she has one scene in here. So there's a whole bunch of like characters that have very small roles. Like Ariana DeBose, we barely ever see. She was also in ISS, if you saw my thing for that. And John Cena has a very small role also. Richard Grant has a very small role. Dua Lipa, a very small role. So everybody's got like one or two scenes, and that's about the extent of it. Even Henry Cavill is also intermittent throughout the film, right? So he pops in and pops out continuously, but for the most part, he's only really in the beginning. And then we have a scene with him at the end. So, but again, Bryce Dallas Howard did a good job. I thought her acting was great, and her weight had no bearing on the film until we get to the third act where she starts doing action. She starts having an action role, and it just doesn't work. She can't sell it because, first of all, it just gets completely silly. I mean, the film starts out kind of silly with the agent stuff, but we kind of buy it because it's a make-believe world. Then it gets kind of good into the second act, and then the third act just goes, if it's a train, it derailed completely. It was like so far off the rails that it was, heading for a cliff. It's just so silly that I found myself rolling my eyes and groaning at some of the stuff that was going on. And I really didn't want to feel that way. And then, Samuel L. Jackson is stuck in this room, and he's kind of cheering, or he's watching television, and he's, clapping for, the sports, the basketball. Yeah, I'm like, why am I seeing this? And then what they have, Dallas Bryce Howard, I'm not giving away anything. I'm not going to go into spoilers. But what they have Sam Rockwell and Dallas Bryce Howard doing during some of these fight scenes is just bad. I mean, it's just, even conceptually, when you were sitting down doing a read-through, I'm surprised the cast was not groaning. Saying, really? We're really going to shoot this? if I did this or a read through, I would have cut those scenes completely or changed them big time because it made no sense. I mean, they're in a ship and they're in a fight scene, and of course there's oil that gets all over the floor. So I'm not sure why you would have just oil in this parts of the ship that just can leak out. Some of it just didn't make any sense. And then what they do with it is just like, unfortunately, I'll never see this movie again. And I really wanted to love this thing like no tomorrow. I mean, I love the cast. I love the Marv world. And this is just over the top for no reason. Just over the top for no reason. So, and then, her even becoming a writer once you hear some of the twists and stuff like that made no sense. I mean, I don't know. I guess we could talk about that if we do any spoilers. But for this film, it's not even worth doing a spoiler review. It's just not good. So if you're planning on seeing it, just know that you're going to probably be disappointed because it just goes off the rails just too much where you're just kind of shrugging at it by the end. And, I mean, it's to the point where, during parts of the third act, I really just wanted to walk out. It's unfortunate, but this is on my skip it list. If you're looking to save money, go see something else because this it's just silly. It's just a silly movie. And if you're saying, well, Fast and the Furious gets silly sometimes. Yeah, Fast and the Furious does get a little bit like, really, you're going there. This is worse. This goes into satire. So where I thought I was going to see a semi-realistic film, it's not. It's a satire. I guess it's punching holes at the action genre, and it just didn't go over well for me. All right, so out of for 1 to 10, based on my disappointment level. And there is a post-credit scene and setting up like another episode of this, and I was pretty shocked because it sets up like the Kingsman or whatever else, and then it shows that they're going to be doing another Argylle movie. I kind of hope not. But definitely, if you want to wait for the 2 minutes, I really had to go to the bathroom. Plus, I have the A-list for AMC. I ended up getting my M&Ms. If anybody knows me, they know I eat M&Ms galore. And the peanut ones. And then on top of that, I got this big old Coke with all my rewards that I had. And I'm only paying, $20-something a month for it. I got it all 50 cents. My snacks, all my snacks were 50 cents. It's also my birthday this month. That's why. So I had a birthday reward coming in. We're going to go to the movies basically for free because I'm paying a monthly fee for it. And then I paid all my snacks. I paid 50 cents. It's pretty good, right? Anyway, out of a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give this thing a 4. It is below average action film. It's a below average. It's just bad. I only give it that because of the acting and the characters. I think that Sam Rockwell and Dallas Bryce Howard had a decent amount of chemistry, so they were able to pull that. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe because if you're not subscribed, why the hell not? It's free. Help me grow the channel out. Plus, Lords of LA is now on Indiegogo. I just launched it. And the link will be in the description below. But if you can go to Indiegogo, it'll be there. Just type in Lords of LA. Also, we're working diligently, Mark Spears and I, who is a comic book cover artist, on the new Riftstorm Classic Monsters area control deck builder game. It's going to be very exciting. So that's it for me. Thank you again so much. Check out some of my other videos as well, and have a great weekend. All right. Bye-bye, guys.